How would you kind of stack rank the concept of digital assets?
I think it's probably as critical a topic as anything, because I think it's going to be the future of banking.
Alrighty, everybody, what is going on? Welcome back to another CYPRX video breakdown. Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up your seatbelts because today's video breakdown is going to confirm every single thing that we've been discussing on the CYPRX channel for the past year and a half.
And I think for us, when it first clicked, we're like, oh my God, when everybody else catches on and understands like what we figured out a decade ago, everything's going to change, from finance to real estate to transactions, contract law, everything.
They are 110% building out a new financial system. Crypto and DeFi and being able to earn yield and passive rewards on your dormant digital assets is 110% going to play an integral role in this new financial system moving forward. And they are physically telling you this to be the case on stage in these panel discussions from most recent times.
How would you kind of stack rank the concept of digital assets for the relative importance?
I think it's perhaps the future of like American hegemony in terms of our economic status, our economic might. And, I'm a late adapter, but I'm not an idiot. You see these things going, and like we're basically forcing this incredible technology away from America for the last few years. You're forcing them to go to places that people wouldn't even want to necessarily go, but they have no choice, because they're not willing to risk their life, or jail, or just not having that understanding. So, I think it's probably as critical a topic as anything, because I think it's going to be the future of banking. As anything, because I think it's going to be the future of banking.
So with that being said, we're going to be diving into some video clips and some fundamentals proving all of this to be the case. If you guys enjoy these video breakdowns, do me a favor, smash the thumbs up button and subscribe to the platform. We do appreciate the love and the support, as this research does take time to curate and this content does take time to make. So as always, sit back, relax, and enjoy today's video breakdown. Let's jump in. In a previous video breakdown, which you can find by clicking on the playlist tab on our CYPRX YouTube, however, just scrolling right down here, it was a video that we uploaded about a month ago titled XRP Level Playing Field. In this video breakdown, I show you guys how they know for a fact what DeFi is, how it can be utilized to benefit the general public. And I showed you guys how in Trump's last term, he mentioned and talked about this level playing field.
I believe that we will all eventually, and probably very much sooner than a lot of people understand or think, we will be all at a level playing field, because that's the only way it's fair.
In today's video breakdown, I'm going to prove to you guys that DeFi and everybody being able to earn yield passively on their digital assets is exactly what they're talking about when they are mentioning this level playing field, okay? So we're going to tap into the Ondo Summit from February 6, 2025. I'm going to be playing a couple of video clips from the panel discussion that Donald Trump Jr. and his team at World Liberty Finance was on, talking about this exact theme. Okay, before we get into that real fast, do you guys remember this is all, again, things that we've talked about in previous video clips? And the reason why it's so important that you all pay attention to this stuff is because it just goes to show that here at CYPRX, we're putting out information that continues to materialize and come into fruition over a prolonged period of time that proves that what we're saying here is real, right? It's actual valid information. Okay, so again, we posted this about a month ago and told you guys to be paying attention. We're going to be playing video clips from this more recent event. As of time of recording this video, it is the 11th of February, so this is only a couple days old. This is from February 6, 2025. This is just to show you guys that the things that we're talking about here at CYPRX, we're not here to boast or brag or just to try and hype things up. We're actually trying to wake people up to show you all how this is all going to start to come into fruition and materialize time and time and time again. All right. So in that previous video breakdown, I shared this post from CoinDesk with you guys. This was posted on CoinDesk from back September 17th, 2024. We posted about it in December 2024, where Donald Trump Jr. talked about how he sees DeFi as what our founding fathers intended for the country, as it brings back fairness to the financial system. And in this, it talks about how he utilized Aave, a decentralized lending platform, which just proves that they know exactly what DeFi is to some extent and how to utilize it. Check this out. I just want to play a couple of video clips, and then I want to also play a video clip from the Aave founder, but we'll get to that in just 1 second. So let's tap in. This is the Ondo Summit. This is the live stream on Ondo Finance's X profile. So we're going to be playing some video clips from the end of this panel discussion, this live stream that took place from the Ondo Finance Summit, proving to you guys that every single thing that we talked about in the previous video breakdowns that we have on the CYPRX YouTube, especially in that yield playlist, are starting to come into fruition, that every single person on the face of this planet will be able to take their idle digital assets and earn passive income. And when they're talking about this level playing field, again, we showed you guys in previous video breakdowns that when they mention this level playing field, earning passive rewards with your digital assets is exactly what they're talking about. This video clip is going to prove exactly that. So make sure that you stick around for the entirety of this. This is going to blow your mind, especially if you've been following our work here at CYPRX and tracking this information and what it is that they're building out via this new financial system, giving all of us equal opportunity to operate on the same level playing field that these traditional financial players have been operating on for the longest time. So just take a second here and listen to what these individual representatives have to say.
I was like, the whole financial system's really one big Ponzi scheme. We just didn't know it because we were at the top of the Ponzi scheme. And so it just sort of worked. But you realize how hard it is for everyone else. And so much of the movement, contrary to popular belief, like we didn't need all the joys that came with getting into politics, right? This was, we were doing pretty good before that. But we chose to do it and realized, we're fighting for so many forgotten Americans. And these are people that are dealing with these problems every day. They can't get X, Y, Z. They don't meet some sort of criteria, or they're not a chosen category. And, we started looking at crypto as this thing that was this nebulous, sort of hard to understand thing just because of where we came from, and being like, wait a minute, like this is the future. I mean, this is, where everyone can play.
So you heard him mention that crypto is the future, and he's realizing that this is building out a future where everyone can play.
Where we came from, and being like, wait a minute, like this is the future. I mean, this is, where everyone can play.
Keep in mind what President Donald Trump in his last term said.
And I believe that we will all eventually, and probably very much sooner than a lot of people understand or think, we will be all at a level playing field.
Now let's fast forward and play another video clip where they go on to talk about every single person on the face of this planet being able to earn yield, even if it's 7 to 10% in a checkings account, which is an option that is not available at this moment in time. And they talk about making this available.
I think we build all of these bridges to take these walls down, but these bridges have like a whole new gate code. They have a whole new, thing or wall for them to climb through. And so for us, we look at it like this space should be wholesome. It should be all together. So as much as we love the DeFi community, we love Bitcoin. As much as we love this producer of this, we love this one. So our idea is like, how do we bring everybody together and fight this fight together? One of the things that we're going to launch here in the very short future is a strategic reserve. So we put a lot of money together. I'm sure you guys have kind of seen us doing our thing. And the idea is that we're going to leave this on chain, and we're going to show commitment back to the industry that's been so good to us, and show where we put our value, where we think the space is moving. Because what we think we have here is an amazing flashlight to shine on phenomenal products that maybe didn't get the limelight that they deserve because of all of this slight insanity that's going on, but it's all, volatility is vitality for the space. But we think that, like, if we take that fishing net and we cast it into the right arena, we can shine on products like Ondo. So our goal is that we get all of these people in crypto to start doing the same thing. It's like taking care of your brother in the space, because we've learned one thing that I think that maybe be news to a lot of people is the world doesn't really speculate, right? We're in a very small amount of people who actually speculate. The majority of the world consumes, right? And they do so for a myriad of reasons. And we think that meeting them where that is amazing. Like, why hasn't the checking account been revolutionized in 20 years, right? Because banks keep it that way, because that's the wall to this mode of money, right? So like, if you're going to revolutionize this space, the easiest way to do it is start going to where they're at. You go to the Gusto, you go to the payroll companies, you start getting them to get the money on chain, so you don't have to figure it out. You start denominating US dollar, you start abstracting away all of this nonsense, if you will, so the end user doesn't have, they have the same security that they had before, and now they have freedom and usability. And so the goal is that someone at the end of the month that is consuming, right, just consuming their normal stuff, they have a little bit more at the end of the month. And that's going to hopefully change the way people think. But if it does, it allows to open the suite of the amazingness that is crypto and all of these speculative, amazing assets. But you do so by a warm welcome, right? You're not going to get this welcome from this new world when you have some amazing altcoin that goes to the moon and back down, just pounds on everybody who's slow and lethargic, and they have a real job they've got to go to, and they have life, right? But if you give them a checking account that's earning 7, 8, 9, 10%, that's backed by an AVE, that has abstractions to a debit card, that allows them to move around this world freely and no new walls, it's the same interaction, but at the end of the month, they get more. So now you're not asking something from someone, you're giving someone. And that's how you're going to change people's humanity in here and their nature, right? And that's what we believe in.
So did y'all hear that, right? He talked about 7 to 8 to 9, 10% even, and he talked about it all being backed by AVE.
But if you give them a checking account that's earning 7, 8, 9, 10%, that's backed by an AVE. But
keep in mind, in a previous video breakdown, we showed you guys how this level playing field that they're talking about is exactly that, this DeFi yield generating opportunity with our dormant idle digital assets to just start to earn and generate passive income. You saw the fundamental piece, right? Where Donald Trump, I shared with you guys, is now a DeFi enthusiast. And he mentioned in this, piece that it brings back, i.e. DeFi, fairness to the financial system. Okay. Now, if we remember, we go back to this token 249 summit that took place, where the AVE representative was sitting on stage. Do you guys remember what he said at this panel discussion about everybody in the world being able to utilize DeFi? Take a second and listen.
Arguably also product market fit. So things that actually work on chain is decentralized finance. And what I kind of see is what is happening now as well is that we see a lot of fundamentals in the space. And what I mean by fundamentals is that we first time ever actually have now essentially decentralized financial infrastructure that is available to anyone. It's resilient, and the last point is that it's also it's also profitable. So we have these decentralized organizations like for example Sky and Synthetics and Avedao, where these are open communities where people make decisions, choices, and actually these public goods make revenue, and that revenue is then streamlined back to the users in terms of different types of rewards and.
Right. But if you give them a checking account that's earning 7, 8, 9, 10%, that's backed by an AVE, that has abstractions to a debit card, that allows them to move around this world freely and
actually these public goods make revenue. And that revenue is then streamlined back to the users in terms of different types of rewards and to grow and expand these public goods more further. And I think this is a really fascinating phenomena to follow and build upon, because DeFi is not about just creating financial opportunities that are based on distribution of governance power or community membership, but it's about actually creating something really valuable that can be applicable to every single person on the planet, and applicable to every single person in the planet, earning rewards, as you all heard him mention, and you see them talking on stage at this Ondo summit, right? Talking about exactly that, revolutionizing the checkings account so that way individual participants, everyday average people that are not crypto enthusiasts, can just earn 7 to 10% yield. Right? You heard Donald Trump Jr. talk about how crypto is the future and how this creates an environment where everyone can play. I don't know what else to show people for you all to see that DeFi is exactly what they are talking about. So again, here at CYPRX, we're always just trying to show you guys the devil's in the details. No mainstream resources or news fundamental outlets are going to piece all of this together for you guys. I encourage you guys to take it upon yourselves to study DeFi, to start to learn how to get your idle digital assets working for you. You do not have to go out and deploy into the DeFi ecosystem to learn how to do this. Join a mentorship program, read documents, watch panel discussions, start to read white papers on all of these DeFi projects and so on and so forth. So that way, when the time comes, when you are comfortable and ready to deploy, you can do exactly that. I cannot stress enough that now is the time for education. We are in the era of information, and for anybody to be sleeping on this or denying any of this information at this point is honestly, in my opinion, slightly delusional. We've shown you guys months in advance, right? Again, keep in mind, we shared this video breakdown kind of covering these topics over a month ago. And now fast forward to a more recent panel discussion taking place in February. A month later, they literally said this creates a
playing field for everybody to participate. Crypto is the future, and that they're trying to revolutionize the checkings account so normal people can earn 7 to 10% yield, which is, not available right now at this very moment in time. This is literally just physical proof, and it absolutely blows my mind that people will just straight up, let this fly right over their heads and ignore it like it is not about to become an imminent reality, right? So as always, bringing you guys the realest information. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video breakdown. I enjoyed putting it together for you guys. With all of that being said, if any of this information interests you to take your knowledge curve a step further, head over to CYPRXtrading.com. We would love to have you in the private Wealth 28 Club community, where we have over 200 curated video breakdowns showing you guys step by step how we are deploying our hard-earned capital in the DeFi ecosystem to earn and generate passive rewards. We'd love to have you on the team. And if that does not appetize you, then at least I encourage you guys to go out there and start to do your own personal research, so that, again, when everything is laid, the foundation is set in place, which you can clearly see they are slightly building out right now as we speak, you are ready, you are prepared. Education right now in this moment in time is a must. All of that in mind, with that being said, many blessings to you guys. If you enjoyed this video breakdown, smash that thumbs up button and subscribe to the platform. We do appreciate the love and the support, and I will see you guys in the next video breakdown.